Hey everybody, Fishman here, and welcome to another video. Yesterday morning while I was going through the process of feeding my fish, I noticed in this aquarium a very, very young guppy, as in newborn, and I suspected that this female here was in the process of hopefully dropping some fry. And after I finished my rounds of getting all the stuff ready for the day, I came back here, followed her around with my camera, hoping to catch and record her giving birth. And for those of you who watch the channel for any length of time know that this is kind of a pet peeve of mine. I have bred so many guppies over the years, and I have actually never witnessed it, witnessed a female giving birth. I just never have, and I really wanted to. So I followed around for probably only about 5 or 10 minutes, and actually ended up getting lucky. And by the end of the video, you're going to see this young lady dropping, well, only one guppy, but for me, it's a big deal because I had never actually seen it. I mean, I've watched so many fish give birth, and so many mouth-brooding cichlids let them out and pull them back in, and all kinds of cool stuff, but never actually ever seen a guppy. So while I'm chasing her around with the camera, and we're going to wait for her to give birth, there's something else I want to talk about, and that is water changes. I know I've had comments and questions on the channel a great many times about putting together systems that don't require water changes. And I can understand why people want this, because it is, well, not the most enjoyable thing to have to, either lug buckets, run hoses, or however you do your water changes. And I have in the past, a fair number of times, built systems that require very, very little in the way of water changes. Sometimes because of the situation of the client where they have no easy access to water. I mean, I've had two particular things that came to mind. One was an aquarium where the water was 2 floors up, and I had to use stairs to get there. And they couldn't have hoses running because of people going back and forth, and there's just no way I wanted that to be a system that, required a lot of water changes. So I built it so that it didn't. And another one was in a large hospital where the access to the water was actually at the back of the building. So I had to go through quite a few halls and get the water there. Again, you can't have hoses running, so I had to carry buckets. And, these sorts of things, you have to obviously do the best you can to make sure you don't have to do too many water changes. But water changes are actually beneficial, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But in the shop here, my fish room shop, I have a great many of my aquariums that don't require much in the way of water changes because I'm lazy like you guys. I don't want to have to do it. And in my case, all I have to do is just turn a pipe down and let the water drain out and then turn it back up and fill it up. So that shows you how lazy I can get. I did a still here for this because she's such a beautiful fish. I do really like guppies and their body structure and just how everything about them. They're just actually a very lovely fish. And I'm going to show you another still in a second because she turned around at a perfect angle, and there's the grab it spot. And it's actually a really good shot of it, so I was kind of happy. And right in the middle there you can see an eyeball, which is a good indicator that your fish is going to be giving birth soon. And believe it or not, guppies actually do get a little dilated, and you can see that there as well. So it was a good shot. I wanted to show that to you. So, water changes. Like I said, I have, the high humidity planters and the new version of the leak-proof canister filter are two great examples of filter systems with plenty of plants in them, and you don't really require a whole lot of water changes with them. But, alright, all that said, freshwater fish, they come from lakes, they come from rivers, and there's one thing that they all experience, and that is heavy rain, and upriver you'll end up with a great deal of water change happening. You'll get dry seasons and wet seasons. It is something that's built into their development. They've evolved to have water changes, and a lot of them are stimulated by those water changes to reproduce. And that is something that you shouldn't really eliminate. I know you're not always going to be breeding fish. You might just be keeping the fish for your own, just to have and to look at. But they still need that stimulus. It is something that's, like I said, built into their evolution. They require those sorts of changes to keep them happy and healthy. You can get away with it. I mean, I have done so. But you do need to have a bit of knowledge sometimes, I think, when it comes to stuff like that, to make sure that you're not stressing your fish out. Because a lot of fish can take a lot of abuse, and that doesn't mean that you should. I mean, even though they can take it. I actually recently had a job. A young lady had hurt herself skiing, and I got called in to do some maintenance on her aquarium. It was just a one-of, and she had a soil bottom with a cap of gravel and a bunch of plants, and there wasn't a whole lot of fish in the aquarium, a bunch of tetras. But the thing is, because she got injured, she hadn't done any water changes in a while, and when those metabolites start to build up, either from the fish or the plants, and sometimes both, you end up with a skewed chemistry, and then you end up with algae growing that you definitely don't want. Because if you remember from my video a little while ago about how plants can change their environments, certain algae do that as well. Actually, oh, they all do, but certain ones will change the chemistry sufficiently that you can end up with, fish not thriving as well. So yeah, anyway, I did a big water change, and also scraped off as much of that algae as I could and got it cleaned up. But it was just as an example, because I mean, even though I'm mentioning all these things, my aquariums are quite clean. There isn't any unwanted algae growing, but again, you can't let it go too long, because you'll end up with like those metabolites building up. They are end products, and the fish they'll stop breeding or show some signs of deterioration. So anyway, enough about all that. So I've been following her around now for a little bit, and what I want to do is show you her giving birth. So here we go. We're going to show you to you in normal speed first, and then I'm going to show that the last clip is going to be at half speed, just to show it. Here it comes now, he or she, and it's just cool. I just love seeing that. That's reasons why I keep fish. Is a lot of watching them and raising them and all that sort of stuff. And yes, I have no idea whether she got eaten or not. She went up to the top, got chased. But there's a whole pile of baby guppies in this tank, so I suspect she's fine. So there you go. This is in slow motion. Definitely let me know what you think of not just her giving birth, but comments about what I mentioned about water changes, and any comments as well about anything else. So there it comes. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.